YouTube, I am back from my day off on Sunday, and we have a Monday video coming out, and it could have been a lot of things. It could have been a recap of Wild Card Weekend, which I'll get to. It could have been, bringing down the Washington Huskies basketball season so far, which I'll get to maybe tomorrow because we have to break that down, and then I'll get to this later. But anyway, it could have been a recap of the whole Washington Huskies football season, which I still have to do. It could have been an NHL lockout video, but one event overrides all of that, and that is the BS National Championship game. That's right, tonight, Alabama and Notre Dame go at it from South Florida. And to be honest, I really can't wait. A lot of people say this is going to be a blowout, including myself. I'll get to that later. But I still think it's going to be an entertaining game. It's really two teams that most resemble each other in the past couple years in the championship game. You've got both of these teams are smash you in the mouth, beat you with our defense, and hey, if it's close, we're going to score when we need to score. If you ever watch Alabama especially, but both teams, Alabama and Notre Dame, it kind of seems like their offense scores when they need to. A.J. McCarron led that game-winning drive against who was that? LSU. He led that drive when they needed it. Like, they score when they need to. They don't score when, they're not amazing. They don't put up 40 points a game. But when they need to score, they score. Of course, both sides have unbelievable defenses. And really what I think is going to cut the game is going to come down to is the front seven of Notre Dame against the rushing attack of Alabama, and it's going to be really awesome. I mean, you've got Stephon Tuitt. You got, what's his name? That guy. Louis Nix III, Stephon Tuitt in the in the middle in those 3-4-4-3 schemes as the D tackles. Of course, you've got Manti Te'o. You've got a lot of talent up there, and they're going up against the likes of Chance Warmack, Barrett Jones, and DJ Fluker, and of course the running backs aren't bad themselves. T.J. Yeldon and the starter Eddie Lacy. That is going to be such an entertaining battle. I mean, if you really look at it, Eddie Lacy is supposed to be the top running back, according to Bleacher Report. Barrett Jones is the top center. Manti Te'o is the top inside linebacker. Tuitt and Louis Nix are great D tackles. Chance Warmack is the top guard. I mean, there is so many. It's just like an NFL type matchup. And it's going to be great. It's going to be pounding it out. There's going to be no love lost. It's going to be a very, very physical game from the tip. I worry about Notre Dame on offense. Of course, these defenses are 1 and 2 when it comes to points allowed per season. I mean, on the season, points per game. I think Notre Dame is first with 10.3 allowed, and I think Alabama is second with 10.7. However, the schedules, Notre Dame was supposed to have the tougher schedule. It didn't really play out that way. I mean, USC wasn't that good. And don't forget all the close games that Notre Dame had to fight their way out of. But what I worry about with Notre Dame in this game, Everett Golson. This is a young quarterback who, I can't imagine being in this situation, especially as a quarterback, and everybody's talking about you, and you're in such a dynamic, game-changing position. But really, this game defines Eric Golson. This is it. A young quarterback, you want adversity? Here you go. Everybody's watching. It's probably going to get the best ratings of a national championship game in a couple years. All eyes are on you. You're going up against one of the best, and the best defense in the country. Definitely the best defense you've faced. And this is not a familiar stage. This is where quarterbacks make their mark. And of course, this is when the whole team makes their mark. But this is special for a guy that's his age. I'm not sure if he's a freshman or a sophomore, but I know it's an underclassman. This is a moment for him that can make or break him, really. And, Tommy Rees on the sideline is thinking, I'd love to have this moment too. So he's got to make sure from the get-go to say, this is it. This is me now. This is my team, but in my prediction to get to the end of this video, I don't think so. I think it's too much for Notre Dame to deal with. You got A.J. McCarron, young quarterback. Been here before. You got a whole team pretty much that's been here before. You got a team that had to fight through the SEC, which of course hasn't shown their worth in the bowl games, but trust me, if you didn't know, the SEC is the real deal. They lost to Texas A&M, but that's acceptable. I think Notre Dame has been getting away with things throughout the season, and there is no getting away with this. It's the Alabama Crimson Tide. They came to play. My prediction, final score, Alabama 27, Notre Dame 10. So Alabama does cover the large spread of 10 points. And also I wanted to kind of say, I kind of wish that the BCS game, the National Championship game, was against two teams with contrasting styles. Sometimes I think that's cooler. Imagine putting Oregon's explosive, quick offense against Alabama's Smashmouth front seven-oriented defense, although they do have D. Milliner, who's a great corner. But that's the kind of matchup. That's really the matchup I wanted to see. An Alabama team and an Oregon team so different. Who's gonna come and from the beginning, say this is our game. But even though we don't have that, it's still gonna be that way. It's gonna happen in trenches. Which team is gonna show up and say we're here to win this game? Is it gonna be Chance Warmack and Barrett Jones and the rest of that offensive line of Alabama? Or is it going to be the defensive line of Notre Dame? Because that's where the game's going to be won. Notre Dame's defensive line, Notre Dame's front seven against Alabama's run blocking and run game. Anyway, that's my preview. Notre Dame fans probably won't like it. Alabama fans probably will like it. But hey, talk is cheap. We'll see what happens tonight. See you guys later.